This is Rap the News, and the sound you are hearing, I was told today that those are the gates of hell opening. Again, I swear to God, I was told today that those are the gates of hell opening. Now we're going to match the glowing red burning inferno in the sky that I call planet hell, which is the literal hell out there in our skies waiting. We're going to compare that with the sound right now. What you're hearing now is the volcanic explosions happening on planet hell right now in our skies. It is baffling everybody in the world. The governments know what this is. They know it's hell. They know their time is coming. You don't know what it is, but soon shall you know.
Do you hear that? You see it? Look at this light. It's crazy. I don't know if you can hear that. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and this has been happening almost every single night. With this light in the sky. Alright, I am not going to stay out here for this.
So what you're seeing in the night sky is hell. I warned you many years ago when nobody believed that it was coming, and I told you this red planet was coming. I told you that this red planet was hell. I was the first one who told you that this thing will be making noises in the sky. So now you're hearing the gates of hell opening, and you're hearing the explosions from the volcanic eruptions coming from this planet. And the people that you heard prior to me talking is explaining that they see the red fiery planet in the sky, as I told you. You know, the only one telling you. Now it don't seem crazy, huh? Never was, huh? See? And then watch the Spirit of Truth working with me, huh? You learning this from the camps? You learning it from your preacher? You learning it from science? No, you're learning it from me. That's who you learning it from. You know, and everything else I told you about Christ to God was 1000% true. Everything else I told you, that you are beasts, you are not human, I told you you was not. You are learning the ugly truth of it all. And this is the channel to tune in to learn the truth of it all. Now we're going to have a guy explaining that he actually went to hell. And he's going to tell you about planet hell that I warned you about many years ago. That you're hearing the sounds and effects of it now. Let's listen to this.
And what I saw was this very, very strange but dark looking planet, and it was very dark, black, like rusty looking, and I was like, okay, where did this come from? And I was like, what's going on? Why? Suddenly now I'm being pulled towards this planet, you know, slowly, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, I don't want to go near that. It doesn't look very good. It looks very creepy. And as I get closer and closer, the surface of this planet started to become more clearer. You know, and it was like on fire, red hot, rusty looking planet. It wasn't like the sun, as you know, tremendous heat, but it was like, you can tell, like it had a surface, and it was like lava and filling this whole planet, but with a lot of dark surfaces. And as I got closer and closer, then I could see that all around the crust of this planet were huge, like volcano mountains that were kind of poking out of the crust, and on top of these volcanic mountains, it appeared to look like black figures. It looked like dark ash, but like smeared, like a sketch. But it was like of this person, figures of men or women, and they had their arms like waving up like this and stretching out towards the sky. And I was like, okay, I know where I'm going. This is hell. There's no way this is, you know, some random planet that is scary or some nightmare dream of I'm having it. This is hell. I know it's hell. I can tell by that I didn't want to even go here. I felt like my spirit was like, no, I don't want to go here. Let's go back. I want to go back the other way, but I couldn't move. I was being pulled towards this place, and lava just suddenly spewed out, and it completely consumed these people, or these black figures, trying to escape the fire, but they couldn't. They were just stuck there, and there was nothing they could do. They were just stuck, and the fire and the lava was spewing out on this mountain, consuming them. And I was like, no, this is hell. I don't know why I'm going here. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't even be here. Why am I here? I kept saying to myself. And I think this was God pulling me into this place. And it took me a while to realize that, but then as it became clear where I was going and that this was hell, I knew very well that this God sent me here. And as I got closer into the atmosphere of the planet was just like it was like a black lake, completely black. I couldn't see any light anywhere. It was just black lake of fire. And the lake was lit up by the lava which was spewing in the background, and the reflection cast light on this black lake. And that's how I could tell. Before the lava came about in the background, I couldn't see anything, but then as lava appeared, the light from that fiery red orange just lit up the lake, and I could see it, that this was hell, that this was hell, that this was hell.
So now you have 3 accounts that I was 100% correct about what is in our skies that our governments are not warning us about, because they ain't gonna warn you. They know what it is. They're building their deep underground bunkers to try to hide and run from this. God already warned y'all that they was going to flee to caves and in the mountains and everything else, which they are doing now. And 3 accounts saw. The first guy, he saw and he heard. He had never heard hell before, and he was saying, what is that? Because it's something new to his ears. That is hell. What was he hearing? He was hearing the volcanic blast of hell. The woman was hearing the screeching sounds of the gates of hell opening. And I said gates. It ain't one gate. Gates of hell opening. And she saw the flashing, both of them, the flashing red in the sky. Now you have the third account of a guy having a death experience where he died. And this is not a dream that he's talking about. He is talking about his actual death, that he died of something. And then basically when he died, he was being sucked into planet hell. And he arrived there to describe what I had already told you and what you're seeing in the sky. So now we're going to hear more accounts of people who had death experiences. These people shot themselves in the head. These people overdosed on drugs. These people tried to commit suicide in various ways. These people got into car accidents and whatever, and they literally died. They was pronounced dead, and they went to hell, and they're going to tell you what they saw and heard.
I can feel my heart going boop, 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 slowing down, boop, 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 and then like fluttering.
Jordan believes in that moment he went to hell.
All these women and all the things you think you want in the world, money, cars, success, you know, all these things that I had, and I was driving, I was just loving it. And then all of a sudden this car broke down. All of a sudden these women turned to huge demons. And it earthquaked. And I look behind me and I can hear screaming. It's all red and black. Turn around, get out of here.
So he consciously heard and saw hell because he was on his way there. And basically the people of hell knew he was not dead yet, you know. And so before he could enter hell, the people was already warning him that was in hell to turn around and go back. Where did we hear that before? We heard that with the story of the rich man who died, who wanted to go back and warn his brothers. And so each of these people in hell will want to go back and tell you, don't go to hell. You do not want to come here. Turn around, go back.
It sounded like people burning. People that were just burning, that couldn't find a cure or a fix to anything. It was just the worst. And I remember being afraid, gripping the steering wheel, and all of a sudden it was like, I'm back to my body in the trailer room.
I was standing there and I was looking out, and I could see like it was like a light smoke. So it wasn't dark, it was like a light, so it was a haze, but it was very light, I could see it. And I thought I was seeing something from a distance. And then it started to move. I was on a platform. The platform started to move forward. And I realized I was standing behind a transparent, like a glass barrier. And I moved forward and it stopped. I'm on the platform. And I looked and there were people. They were lined up side by side as far as you could see. As far as I could see back, and as far as I could see to the left, and as far as I could see to the right, they were lined up side by side. And they had their hands up and their mouths open. They were screaming, but I couldn't hear them.
So his story matches up with the guy that was on the Planet Hell previously. And they said they both saw people with their hands up in the sky yelling something. And what were they yelling? Go back. Don't come here.
They were screaming in terror, but I couldn't hear them, but I could see them. And then I looked, the flames came up to about almost to their waist. But you know how fire goes up, like they say, the fire licks. The fire was going up chest high, and their skin was melting. But it didn't come off, it bubbled, their skin bubbled. It's like, you've seen things that bubble. Their skin was bubbling. It was boiling, it was bubbling, but it didn't fall off. And the people were screaming. And there were these creatures. They were as big as, you know, they were as big as a dog. Bigger, as a good-sized dog. But they were like black bumblebees. And they were flying, and they had these stingers. And the stingers looked like they were about 2 feet long. And there was 3 of these things around each person, all the way down, all the way back. And 2 of them would, when they put their hands up and screamed, the stingers, they would stick them through their hands. And the people would scream some more. And then when they opened their mouth to scream, the 3rd creature would stick the stinger in their mouth. They would stick it all the way in their mouth, and then they would scream more. And they moved like, it was like almost like a cartoon with precision. They moved. The creatures, they moved. The one that stung you in the left hand would move to your mouth, sting you in your mouth. Then it would move to your right hand, and they would move to the next person. So they moved like that. And the people just screamed and their skin bubbled. But they wouldn't, the skin wouldn't fall off. And they were just there. And I looked at that and I couldn't believe it. And then all of a sudden, whap! One of those black things hit the front of the glass where I was standing. He was trying to attack me. Whap! And I stepped back. And the angel said to me, these things will attack anything here. And I knew that's where Satan was going, and the death angel, who I pray to God I get to see him thrown in. I hate that sucker. But I realized what they're going to go through, and that this was meant for them. This was never meant for humans. It was meant for the devil and his angels. The punishment is bad enough to punish an angel. It's bad enough, that's hell. And the lake of fire is bad enough to punish one of the chief angels, which Satan was when he was Lucifer. The punishment had to be bad enough to punish a chief angel. It is absolutely horrible. And the platform started to move back. And the angel was serious. He said, tell him don't come here. You excuse me. Okay. You tell him don't come here.
I walked to my mother's room thinking I don't want anyone to see me because I'm so determined to end my life, to end the void, to end the suffering, to end the loneliness, that nothing was going to stop me. I began crying out and I began screaming out to God, God, forgive me. And the gun went off. My lungs began to fill up with blood. My ears, I began to become deaf, very slowly, faintly become deaf. My eyes became blind. My eyes were open and I became blinded, and I knew that death was gripping my soul. And then all of a sudden, I felt myself, my soul, leave my body, and I instantly began falling and falling. And at that moment, I knew I was no longer in control of my destiny. And I ended up in a place that was complete torment. And my body was burning. I no longer was lonely. I was no longer depressed. I became depression. I became loneliness. I became a tormented being of fear. And as I began looking out and I saw all of these other people and everybody was screaming in pain, the mutual thing that everyone shared there was their desire to scream out to everybody on earth, do not come here.
You, excuse me, you tell them, don't come here.
And I can hear screaming, it's all red and black. Turn around, get out of here.
So I'm in hell, I see the lake of fire. Now, do I see fire? No. You say, oh, wait a second. Oh, no. I saw outer darkness. In outer darkness, there was a lake. I knew it was a lake. I could see that it was a lake. And people were bobbing up and down in this lake, the people that I had deceived in the lake of fire. And they were crying out, Pastor John, you deceived us. They were in this lake, but there was outer darkness. Remember, hell is outer darkness. The worst thing in the world is darkness. God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. The absence of light is darkness. God isn't going to be there. He's not showing up. There's complete darkness there. Talk about claustrophobia. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Complete darkness, in flames, being burned alive. No ability to change, repent, I'm sorry, fix it. This is it. Forever, tormented, demons cursing you, lying to you. You're there, and you're there because you've been a liar. You're there because you're a backslider, or you're a lukewarm Christian. You're there because you're a false prophet, and you told people that what you knew could not be taught intelligently, articulately from the Greek. You taught it anyways, and you're a liar, and you knew it. Run from sin. Run to God. Repent, and keep on repenting. Call, and keep on calling. Seek, and keep on seeking.
So here you have a Christian pastor telling you that everything he was teaching was a lie. He knew it didn't make sense, and he knew it was a damn lie when he was preaching it to the people. But he kept on because he's arrogant and he a Gentile. And then what happened? He saw the people that he was preaching to in hell with him, and they were screaming in the lake of fire, you deceived us. You deceived us. And guess what? He can't help them and they can't help him, because you were all warned, don't be deceived. God is not mocked. As a man sow, so shall he reap. You sow to that falsehood and you reap the